What is going on, guys? In this video I'm going to show you how to use the application DealMachine. The DealMachine app is probably one of my favorite apps when it comes to wholesale and real estate. It has been a game changer from the beginning. When I started in 2019, I was driving for dollars looking for distressed properties early in the morning right before I went to work. It's probably been one of the best and most effective strategies that my team implements every single day to try to bring to the table all of the most motivated leads possible. One of the most profitable leads as I was able to close whenever I was getting started with real estate and with wholesaling was a $39,000 assignment fee from one of these properties that I found just from driving around my neighborhood. Now, I want to show you guys how to use the DealMachine app properly, how you can stack these deals together. It's pretty much an all-in-one application software that you can download to your phone and take with you whenever you're on these routes. So don't forget to subscribe to this channel, right? Because I want to be able to bring you guys all of the value and all of the tools that I wish somebody would have told me whenever I was getting into this wholesaling and real estate game. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like this if it brings you value. Don't forget to share with other people that you want to bring on this journey with you. And like always, follow me on Instagram and TikTok, because I like to do these lives wherever I bring you into the business and show you step by step how to get your first deal. So now let's get into the app. All right, guys, so this is the DealMachine app. The dashboard online is a little bit different from the one on your phone, which I'll be showing you guys here shortly, but essentially it's got the same features. Now, you got to decide what you're going to be using this application for. You can do it virtually, or you can do it just locally, right? I like to do both. Once I start driving around my neighborhood, it's almost become a habit that I have this application open on my phone. And, my eye is just trained to start looking for these distressed properties. But let's kind of go over the features here on this application. And hopefully I can get you guys to see the value in the application itself. So, to start off with, it's got this great map where it shows you all of the different properties, all of the different addresses that we're kind of basically targeting, right? In this case, what I did was I used one of their quick filters and pretty much just went and started clicking on some of the lists here that they've already pre-created for you. So they're already putting these things on there to kind of help you get started. So I chose tax delinquents, high equity, senior owners. But you can, we can kind of clear this and maybe get started with something different just to kind of see, something else. Let's try looking for, let's see, let me just kind of play around with it real quick. They even have cash buyers on here, which is great. Let's just look for some vacant houses in this same kind of area. Now, the zip code that I chose was this 64130 here in Kansas City. So let's go ahead and put that in here. 64130, Kansas City, Missouri. Vacant home, single family. Now, let's say you're trying to get very specific with it. You can play with it if you want. That's great. So now, it pulls out all of these different records. And I think one of the greatest things about this app also is that it kind of updates the list that you are building in real time. So it'll tell you exactly like recently sold by a cash buyer, it's pending on the market, things of that nature. So you can really, really use the tools that they're providing to just bring your business to a whole different level, right? So maybe you're looking for all of the cash buyers in that same area. You simply just have to go in here and hit the cash buyers filter. which we saw on here. And boom, it shows you all of the transactions that were paid for or bought for using cash, right? So very simply, you can just either click into it and go down here and look for the owner of the property, which is an LLC. In another video, I'm going to show you how to actually go about looking for the LLC owners. But the great thing about this app, check it out, it actually gives you the people that may be associated to the address. So not necessarily the LLC is the only people that you're going to be looking for. You can actually look for people that have been associated to it, whether it was a past owner, maybe it's a tenant. It could be somebody that just has a family member that may have owned the property at some point. That's where you start getting creative and looking for ways to try to target, right? This is how you start separating yourself from the competition. And the really cool thing about it is that they already provide you with the phone numbers. Now, I'm not going to put it on here because it probably is just going to shadow ban me if I do, but you can come in here and look at those phone numbers whenever you're ready. You know, you can call them directly from there. Now, the way that my team goes about using DealMachine on a daily basis, we have a couple virtual assistants on my team. And so whenever they're not cold calling, what I actually ask them to do is I ask them to come in here and start doing some driving for dollars. I know that's kind of silly saying it virtually, but with this application, it's actually very easy. So what you're going to do when you're driving for dollars virtually is you're going to click in here to one of these properties. And you're going to start driving. And what it's going to do is just going to bring you to the street view, right? So now you're in the street as if you were driving around your neighborhood without, you know, having to spend all the gas, which is really great. And let's, you know, we just landed on this one here. This one has all of the indicators of being distressed. It's got a roof that is just scaly. It's just kind of coming off, right? You got gutters that are, you know, it's just sagging. You have some fascia that is just being like, you know, super distressed. It looks like maybe, you know, some of these windows may be aluminum, so they're older. You've got grass growing all over this place, which again is not a good sign. Now, take into consideration that some of these, you know, photos were taken, you know, before. And so this property, it could be already taken, right? It could have already been sold. That's why it's so important that if you're driving for dollars virtually, you're stacking these lists with other lists that give you indication of whether or not it's going to be a good property to follow up on. Now, I'm going to go into more videos on that later, but just keep in mind that that's kind of what you want to do if you're doing this virtually. If I'm local to the neighborhood, there's nothing that stopping me from just driving over there, you know, in the evening or maybe during the day at some point, just to see if this property is in fact, you know, this distressed, you know. So what my VAs do is they'll come in here, they'll take a look at this house, they'll see it for what it is, and then simply, you know, start adding it to our target lists. So what will happen here is they'll add it in here and they'll actually tag it with the tag distressed, right? And so once that does that, what that does is actually it starts building up my list of distressed properties. And I can pull all of those lists, all of those leads with the tag of distressed. So now I know that if I happen to drive to this property and, you know, it was tagged in 2022 and it's still distressed, then that's a good indicator that this property has been vacant for a long time, right? So, I mean, that's pretty much what you want to do is you just want to start, you know, driving around the neighborhood, you know, whether that's virtually or physically. Just drive around the neighborhood, spend some time looking around, checking out the area, making sure that you're not missing opportunities like this, right? Where you have all of the boarded windows, all of the boarded doors. All of this is stuff that you want to document, stuff that you want to add to your arsenal. So let's go ahead and look at this one here. And, you know, what we're going to do is we're going to add it. I think it's this one. Let me see. This may be, just make sure you get the right one, because sometimes, like I said, because it's virtual, you need to be very, very careful that you're not choosing the wrong house. So we'll actually go in here. It looks like it might be the right one. Let's just look at this one. This one is 5818. So this one is 5816. So we're just gonna move over here a little bit more and see if it'll pick it up on my computer. 5816. So then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tag it as distressed. Maybe I'll put it boarded up windows. All right. So now this is tagged with two different indicators that it's you know, distressed. So now let's say we started building our list this way, right? We started walking the neighborhood a little bit more, and we add, you know, anywhere between 20 to 30 leads per hour whenever my VAs are in here. They're looking for these deals. So then the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna end this, right? We're gonna end this here. And you as the owner, the beautiful thing about this is that it also keeps track of, like, you know, how much time was driven, how many miles, how many leads were added. That way you can keep track of your VAs and how much effort they're putting in to finding these leads for you, right? It's all about just keeping track and managing your team well. So now let's say we've got our list built. We've got everything kind of ready to go. The next thing about it, so now you've already gathered all of your leads, right? The next thing you want to do is you want to start reaching out to these leads, right? And the way that you're going to do that is either you're going to call them directly. That's a cold call. You're going to text them, or you're going to send them mail. My team also goes out and door knocks, right? So we do a little bit of everything to try to get us in front of people. That's the main thing. It's just trying to get in front of people. The better you are at that, the more opportunities you're going to create for yourself. A lot of people don't answer the first call. A lot of people don't answer text messages. A lot of people don't answer direct mail. But in between there, a lot of people do, right? So that's why you got to be able to learn how to do this with multiple strategies. My team right now, what we do is we call them 3 times in different times of the day. If they don't answer, then we put them into a drip campaign for texting, which sends out a text message, and then it sends them like a follow-up text. If they don't answer to those, then we send them a mail afterwards, right? So all of this is just kind of our strategy, our process of marketing. And so I'll be going into a couple of those videos later on so I can show you guys how to build out your systems and your processes. But right now you guys can see kind of like how DealMachine can really be a powerful tool if you allow yourself to spend some time just kind of tinkering around and playing around with it, right? So then the next thing you're going to do is, once you have your list, right, you can choose to either, you know, market to all of these 8,000 plus leads, right? Which I would not advise you to, because you're going to be spending a lot of money and a lot of time for no reason. Or you can try to stack this list with other criteria, right, inside your DealMachine app. So that's why it works so well, because it's also kind of like a really cool CRM. So right now what I want to do is I want to look for all of the people that are actually owners of the property, that actually live there. Let's just go ahead and put empty nest. No, yeah, likely to move. Let's just put, I don't know how they choose these filters. I just know that they help me kind of navigate my marketing. So it went from 8,000 to 3,000. I still want to niche that down a little bit more. So let's go and see. Maybe what we're going to do is we're going to add some sort of motivation here. So we're going to do a tax delinquent. So now owners that are owner occupied, likely to move, and tax delinquent. Oh, that actually brought it up a little bit more. Okay, so let's keep going. Let me try to niche this down to the point where it makes sense to actually create like a campaign. So owner occupied, let's do senior owners. 5,614. So now it's adding more into this. So match all. Let's see what happens when it matches all of them. Now we're stacking these leads. So there we go. We have 6 leads that match all of our criteria, right? So now we went from an 8,000 list that would probably cost you anywhere between 2 to 3 grand with all of the marketing to 6 leads. These are my owner occupieds, my likely to move senior owners with tax delinquencies, right? And so now the beautiful part about this is that you can actually come in here and start calling them directly from the application. You know, it's just a great app. I'm telling you, it's just one of those apps where you need to really spend some time on, because it's super undervalued. I think it's got one of the best ways of updating its system automatically for you. So if you create this list, what's going to happen is if you call them and they don't answer whatever you're marketing and they're not responding, they will update the list from time to time, whether the property went vacant, whether the property got sold, whether somebody listed it on the MLS. So it keeps everything in real time. And so you can choose to call these leads, all of them here directly, because they also provide you with a dialer, a power dialer, that you can call them here directly, or you can send them a mail from here as well. This can be just like one of those applications that you use to get started, because you can also use it as your CRM, where you're following up and you're organizing your leads all in one, in one place. So that's kind of like what this application looks like and how my team uses it on a day-to-day basis. Now, I want to show you a little bit of how it looks like on your phone, right? And so one of the biggest things, the biggest problems that people do whenever they're getting started is, I tell them, go drive around your neighborhood, go look for these properties that are distressed and whatnot. And it's all great. But what a lot of people don't do is they don't target or niche down on the neighborhood that they should be targeting. They'll just go driving around all of the suburbs, or, all of the areas that buyers are not buying properties at. And, that's just kind of waste your time, waste your money. And it does nobody any good, right? You don't want to be in these like situations where you're just not being productive with your time and your money. You want to, especially if you're getting started, take actions that are going to generate you the most possible opportunity for income, right? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a video showing you guys how to target those zip codes directly. So make sure you guys are following this channel, because those videos are going to help you whenever you're doing this driving for dollars strategy. Here's how it looks like on the phone. See if that focuses on there. And so like I said again, all you have to do is really just kind of add these leads as you're kind of driving around the neighborhood, and just kind of like the one that you saw on the computer. You're gonna add these to your list, and you're starting to stack these, right? So now, how we did it virtually, now you're doing it physically or right in your neighborhood. Those properties are gold, right? Because they will not appear in any other list, right? I can pull the same list on here that you guys are probably going to be able to pull, right? It's not going to be any different. The same data that I shared here is the same data that you guys are going to be seeing on your desktop, right? But the ones that you guys cannot see are the ones that are going to be distressed in my neighborhood, because I'm going to be the first one to see them, because that data does not exist anywhere else. That is the power of driving for dollars. And guys, let me tell you this, it's probably been one of the best strategies for myself, for my team, that I've implemented since I got started with this wholesaling journey, right? One of my biggest assignments came from driving for dollars. So don't sleep on this very easy, very affordable way of finding properties for your next wholesale deal, wholesale assignment. I do hope that you guys found a lot of value in this video. I want to continue to give you guys all of the tools and insights on how to get your first deal under contract or go and start growing a business in wholesaling. So don't forget to like, to subscribe, and to follow, and share this video with somebody that you want to take on the journey with you. I hope to see you guys in the next one.